Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I'm going to be playing the most powerful premium tanks in the game, at least according to me, at tier 8. So, a lot of you will have seen my gargantuan video that I released on Saturday where I rated every single tier 8 premium in the game. I'd like to clarify, yeah, I did miss a few, but I've made up for that by pinning in a comment, so if you want to know my opinion about the vehicles that I missed, you can check that out. And also, make sure if you want to see me do this for all of the tier 10 tanks as well, then I put the threshold at 8,000 likes. So still going to need 2,000 more on that video if you want to see it before the end of the year. But today, I'm not just going to be talking about tanks, I'm also going to be playing them as well. I'm going to be playing every single one of the vehicles from my pay-to-win list. So I thought that we would start with the Skoda T56. What kind of win ratio is the Skoda T56 currently packing on the European server? 52.96% average. That's a fairly meaty amount of wins for a tank to be getting, but it's obviously no surprise as to why a vehicle like that would be packing such a staggering win ratio, and that's because it's also incredibly good. The tier 8 Czechoslovakian heavy tank is just an absolute behemoth when it gets to deliver 2 shots. So I'm going to be setting this vehicle up with vents, a turbo, and vertical stabilizers, as well as a fairly good crew. Also, I'd like to clarify today I am using a brand new mouse for the first time. No, it's not a sponsored channel. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is. I'm sure the eagle-eyed of you will have seen what it is, but it's the first wireless mouse I've ever used, so I'm welcome. QuickyBaby's finally got up to 2021. So if my aim is absolutely terrible today, at least I have an excuse to not dominate in the most powerful tanks, right? Okay, so we're going to start off with the Skoda T56. This could be a very long video when I think about it. If I've said that I'm going to be playing 6 tanks or so today. If it gets too long, I might call it quits, because I don't want to turn every video on this channel into some kind of gargantuan marathon. I know that a lot of you have lives, especially around this time of year, but I'm going to give you all of the energy that I have today, as I'm not going to be streaming later on. Okay, so Skoda T56. Not the fastest tank, hence why I like to slap a turbo on it, very QuickyBaby-esque, right? And I'm going to try and venture forwards into position to see if I can be able to go off. Man, this is so weird to be using a wireless mouse right now. How absolutely bizarre. Yeah, welcome to 2021, QuickyBaby. Okay, so what I like to do in my Skoda T56 is I want to get forwards. I'm thinking about clapping, and there you go, there is the angled armor. This thing's actually got a real good side armor, which means that you can kind of over-angle it. Shall I shoot the M4Y? I kind of don't want to in that kind of a situation. I'm considering going forwards, but I also think that maybe it'd be better to just make my way up here. I think I can just reverse up. There's not really too much difference about reversing when your power to weight ratio is limited. I don't think that your vehicle has less power going backwards than it does going forwards. One of my favorite things about this tank, apart from being able to deliver 460 damage twice within 3.5 seconds, and the armor, and yeah, that it's not the slowest, is that one of the coolest things, he says, is that if you have intuition on the vehicle, then you can do some outrageous things with regards to switching your shells. Do you want to have gold loaded? Should we try? Ooh, then you just switch it out. Alright, I'm throwing it in the bin. Get out of here. You're an unlucky mouse, right? I'll replace it. No. But I felt like I still had the control there. What, against a stationary target, QB? Yeah, totally. I had the control against the stationary target. So in this kind of a scenario, I don't really feel like there's any pressure on me to just be outrageously aggressive right now. I'd like to see if my team would push forwards towards the south, but that's who I want. I want the Hotchkiss. That wasn't a good shot. Probably should have given a little bit more lead to that one. This is where I start to get itchy in the game. I'm thinking, like, shall I push forwards? Shall I relax? And oh, hello, M4Y, just as I'm reloading. That is disappointing. But maybe that will allow some of my tank destroyers up on the high ground to get some shots in. But I'm looking down, and why is there a Scorpion G playing in that position? That's a little bit awkward. Well, I've obviously got spotted, but I'm hoping that maybe I can try and get the weak point in against the M4Y. I've got to be careful that I don't get rushed from behind. If I get rushed from behind, I'm going to be in a real tricky situation. Real tricky situation. That Skoda's probably doing a lot more than I'm doing right now with just sitting up here. So there's an E75 TS down over towards the east and the M4Y. If I get pushed by those tanks, it's really not going to work out. I just want to try and keep the pressure on the high ground. I got spotted though. Oh gosh, KV4 trying to come up behind me. M4Y trying to use the low position as well. Ooh, this could get interesting, couldn't it? If he tries to plow forwards, I should be able to get him. My armor is not going to work in this position. I think I have to go fight this guy in close quarters combat, but his E75 friend could be just right in front of me as well, but this is where I have to just be aggressive, you know? I got to go for it. All right, there's one. Got hit by a TD. Oh man, that was awkward. That was awkward. He's doing a pretty good job of hiding his weak point, and just see how he's hiding. I'm going to pretend like I'm not reloading, even though I am reloading. And I got to worry about there's a fact that there's a KV4 on my side as well. What, good shot. He obviously knows I'm reloading now, unfortunately. He puts another 377 damage out of his 360 into me. This guy can't seem to low roll, and neither can his tank destroyer behind. Luckily, somebody puts a big old chunk into him. So I've got a problem here. If I fire at this KV4, he's going to realize I'm here. He's going to turn, he's going to kill me. But there's not much that I can do about that, really, is there? I guess I'd load some gold rounds, hope that he doesn't manage to bounce. Well, I hope that he does bounce off my armor. I'm in a bit of a tricky situation. I'm trying to go as far forward as I can to maximize my armor against the KV4, but he just shot one right through my fuel tanks. He's now firing gold at me. I bounced the IKV. Hopefully I can bounce this shell against him. If I do, oh, that's beautiful. Maybe I can get some more damage in now. There's one. And there is two. And that's why this vehicle is just so brutal. That's why this vehicle is so brutal. I didn't have a great game. I didn't put myself in, I guess, the best of positions. I got outflanked by their heavy tanks, who eventually managed to get through my armor. But when you're able to deliver that much damage with such a good rate of fire, as in the reload of the vehicle, it is outrageous. Well, not my best game for the Skoda T56, but I guess we're just warming up today. Hopefully I've held onto that position for long enough to allow our team to advance in through the south. Okay. Not the best start for the Skoda T56. It was just one of those games where I never really felt like I could truly isolate anyone. And whenever I wanted to try and catch somebody with the autoloader, they always had a bit of a crossfire going. You know, when I wanted to try and go after the M4Y, there was another tank there. A little bit awkward. Okay, what is the next tank that I'm going to be playing on my list? So also in the pay-to-win bracket is the Renegade. I think the Renegade's an astonishing tank. What's its win ratio in the last 30 days? 52.89. Pretty darn high as well. I was really interested to see that a lot of people didn't like the fact that I put the Renegade so high up on the list. But really, if you are an aggressive player and you're wanting to pump up the damage per minute of the vehicle, it is staggering. 2,733 DPM on this vehicle. That is with using a gun rammer and vents, but that's a luxury that the Renegade can afford. It's one of those tanks that it doesn't need to use coated optics. Any vehicle that has 400 meters base view range, like the Renegade does, you can get away with vents and good crew skills. I think I get up to something stupid like 477 meters view range with this vehicle with the field mods, without using coated optics, and that isn't with special events or any kind of special bond equipment or any kind of directive as well. That is your raw power. Okay, so on this map, I clearly want to use the 10 degrees of gun depression that I have. I don't want to go towards the south. I want to make my way up towards the north. I think cutting in through the middle of the map isn't really going to work out well for me. So I'm going to try and tell my team that I'm going to make my way over towards the north, and maybe we can try and work the ridge lines as I guess I block every single tank destroyer in the game, which is a bit of a shame. So I think I've already made a mistake in this game, and because I was trying to explain about the view range, I forgot to take the turbo on this tank. Ugh. So, oh dear, I'm going to be limited to a horrible 45 kilometers an hour. Oh, how terrible, how disgusting that I'm only going to be able to drive around at 45 kilometers an hour. I do like to use a turbo on this vehicle. I think it's a cracking device to be able to really amplify one of the vehicle's key strengths, which is aggression. And also, with your weak point on top, one of the things that I love to do in this tank is I love to keep moving forwards and backwards and forwards as quickly as I can to try and make that weak point a little bit more hidden. I was wondering if I could maybe try and take the inside against the 703-2 here, which was sold a lot yesterday by the looks of it for gold. Lots of people playing their double barrel tanks right now. As if we needed even more premium heavy tanks in the matchmaker. It feels like that's all there is right now. Okay, so I'm going to clearly take the high ground, and I'm worried about that Carnarvon Action 10. Do I think that the 122 TM... Okay, this is where I need to go sideways, and I need to go backwards and forwards. It looks bizarre, but it gives me my best chance of avoiding my weak point getting hit. And you'll see that because I'm not driving towards and away from the person, he's going to probably have a much harder time of being able to engage my weak point. Now, of course, I'm going to fully aim, and I'm going to go backwards and forwards as well. And this is what a lot of people just... I know it makes it awkward for my friends, and I can put my gun up as well, which makes it even more awkward for him. And I know that this is... it's not going to be perfect every time, because as you can see, the Carnarvon Action 10 managed to get a shot into me. But this is what a lot of people don't realize you can do with regards to protecting your weak points on the tank. And look at that. Oh, so close. The vertical stabilizer's letting me down there, actually. I felt like I should have been able to get that shot in. Right, what's this VK thinking? I'm going to switch out to a gold round. Intuition allows me to do that. And that means that we can hit the ridgeline. Thanks, Wargaming. Appreciate it. This vehicle is just such a fabulous all-rounder. Nice, we won the Skoda game. 100% win ratio so far today. Oh, that's not good. That is, though. That is nice. That's where the vertical stabilizers are lovely. They're lovely jubbly. We can be able to have all of the gun handling we want. Put your gun up in the air. Not that we're giving him the finger or anything. What we're doing there is trying to protect our weak point. Okay, so I'm going to continue to be a little bit cheeky, a little bit aggressive here. I'm going to try and find the 7032. And we're going to track him because our dispersion bloomed out there. Probably should have fully aimed, but when you've got the weak point on top of the tank, you don't really want to sit still for too long. But if I see that this VK bounces a gold round off my turret, now I know that I've got enough time to be able to play within his reload. And delicious. There we go. Wonderful. Another shot. Probably didn't need to fire gold there, but I honestly thought the VK would come back. So the Engine Panzer is making some plays. I'm going to load regular rounds here. I don't need the gold. I want to try and make some credits still. I want to try and still make some credits. And there is the VK. We have the VK's butt. And we got him. We got him. But do you know what's kind of worrying? Oh, no. It's actually not a regular game. It's an encounter game, so I'm actually safe. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Now, driving up here is very dangerous. There could be all sorts of tank destroyers that we have to deal with. But I don't really feel like I have time to waste right now. So I'm going to continue. So there you go. That is Renegade Gameplay 101. You really have the aggression with your DPM to take the fight to the enemy team. You got some pretty good gun handling. You've got the view range now. If I get spots at the back, that'll be lovely. And it's all round just an all-purpose performer. It's basically a tier 9 heavy tank that, albeit, has a big weak point on top of the vehicle. So you've got to watch out for that. But obviously, if you can try and be able to mitigate the... Oh, load an HE round here. If you can try and mitigate how exposed your weak point is on this tank, then you can still do very well indeed. And do that by going sideways on a ridge line, going backwards and forwards, and you should be good. Make sure this one hits. So I lost 400 hit points there. That is not what I wanted, but, well, if he wasn't going to do damage to me, he was probably going to do damage to someone else. So, taking it for the team. Taking it for the team. So not a bad game so far. I wish I still had a few more of those hit points left, but that's okay. There's a reason why we got 1,500 of them, and the enemy have lost half of their hit points, so the fact that I've got more than half my hit points is okay by me. Alright, so this is where I think the Renegade is going to be the Renegade, if you know what I mean, and that is... It's just so wonderful against tank destroyers. Because quite often, you can pressure them. They can ricochet off you. You've got a very good turret if they don't hit your weak point. And you are going to shoot them multiple times for every time they shoot you. And you're also one of the faster heavies. Notice how the slower heavies, and it's pretty much the mediums who are kind of trolling behind me. I'm going to change to an HE shell. 479. Don't you love intuition? Yes, QB, you say it in every video. But here's the thing. A lot of people don't respect just how influential it can be to now be able to take out the Borsig in 2 shots rather than in 3 shots. And that's massive. That allows me to take him out before he can even think. I can fire AP shell, and unfortunately it bounces off the S1. But that was more about it not hitting the armor rather than ricocheting, because it's actually impossible to ricochet on this tank. I'm going to load an HE shell here, and I'm going to go after the Scorpion. I'm not going to go after the S1. Or is he going to come back for more? He's actually going to come back for more. Okay, I need to switch to AP again. And I got to try and clutch shot him here as I come around the corner. He bounces off me. I don't bounce off him. Who's got the rate of fire? Well, it's me, actually. He's got less DPM than I have, and I'm a heavy tank. So, yeah, so it's going pretty well here so far. I kind of want to try and aggro the Scorpion, but I don't want to die to it, and I don't want to let this S1 do what he wants to do. All right, I'm going to switch to HE. Unnecessary. Overkill. Oh, no. Am I about to get Skoda'd? Oh, no, I'm not, because I'm a Renegade. Of course I'm not going to get Skoda'd. I'm a bloody Renegade, dude. I'm a god tier tank. One god tier tank versus another god tier tank. 469 damage dealt to that player. Jeez Louise. 65 damage, sorry. So not 69. Nice. 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 And we get a bit of spotting as well because we got awesome view range. We are the all-purpose heavy tank with a weak point on top. If you can't play this vehicle, it's probably because you're paralyzed by the weak point. And I would thoroughly recommend to just let the chips fall there where they may. And if they hit your weak point, they hit your weak point. And if they don't hit your weak point, they don't hit your weak point. And if that sounds ignorant for a few players, well, I guess ignorance is bliss in life, right? And that's what the case is with this vehicle as well. Ignorance is bliss when it comes down to the Renegade. You just gotta let the chips fall where they may. As I said, oh, I'll talk about the chips fall where they may. I got spotted by some kind of sneaky snake. He must be over there. Nice. 6 cents saving my bacon, but unfortunately I wasn't quick enough to be able to go after the enemy tanks. Renegade, 3,400 damage and 500 spotting and 3 kills. Not too bad. We'll make a lot of credits from this game as well. We did fire some gold. We also managed to penetrate some HE rounds as well. That's why I always take a good selection of them, right? Good selection of the different rounds for the different jobs. So, good stuff. Nice round for the Renegade, a lot better than the Skoda. But happy to win both of our starting rounds with these vehicles. Seeing I'm not going to be playing much today, I'm just going to boost all these games anyway. Just get a little bit cheeky crew training in. So that's a 1,222 base, 3,400 damage. It is decent enough and 174,000 credits profit. I love the Renegade. This is one of my favorite vehicles that I have on my free-to-play account that I managed to grind one of the mission marathons to get. Okay, so what's next on the chopping board? Well, the 7032. I think the 7032 is pay to win. I think it's an absolute fabulous tank. But what is the win ratio of the vehicle? How is the 703 doing? Where do I have to scroll? Why is it so far down the list? Oh my lord. Where's the 7032? Is it really this far down? There's no way it's this far down. Hold on, maybe I just can't find it. Find 703. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's actually pretty far up the list. I'm just blind. 52.25% average win ratio. Although that's quite likely to be dipping down very soon, because obviously as the vehicle was just sold, then I'm sure that a lot of people will be failing in the tank. So my preferred setup for the 7032 is vents, turbo, and I'm going to be using a rotation mechanism. Although you could use the aiming device on this vehicle to improve its god-awful accuracy, and its aim time's pretty horrific as well. But the way that I feel about this tank is that if I have the gun handling, why do I have to worry about anything else? And I honestly feel that this vehicle, I just need the mobility to keep up with the meta. And I'm willing to make sacrifices to my gun handling to be able to gain it. But if you don't feel so confident with your aim, and you need to have either the better accuracy or the better gun handling, then maybe you definitely want to consider dropping out that turbo. Another thing that you could do on this vehicle is, instead of using the rotation device, is you could use vertical stabilizers on the tank. That would lower your rotation speed by 10%, but improve your gun handling by 10%. Personally, for me, I like to have the extra traverse speed on this vehicle, because I feel that as its armor is very frontally loaded, that I want to always be able to keep that towards my opponents. And also, its intra-clip is really long. It's not like other auto-loaders, where it has a very short intra-clip, and that's where you want to stop the reticle from blooming out. One of the things that not a lot of people realize is that vertical stabilizers and a rotation device massively reduce the bloom that a vehicle will have after firing. And that is one of the reasons why I double stack on my vehicles like the TVP. But those vehicles have a really good intra-clip reload, whereas a vehicle like this doesn't. And because this vehicle doesn't have a good intra-clip reload, then I'm not too fussed about double stacking. And I think that I'll invest better in vents and a turbo on this tank, because as you can see, even with a turbo, it's definitely not the fastest of vehicles. So 7032 can fire 1 by 1, can fire 2 at the same time, giving this vehicle 780 alpha damage, although you do have to prepare. My biggest tip for the 7032 is to rebind your fire, your double fire, to a key on your keyboard. I have it on my C key. A lot of people say, well, I have that as my reload. Well, I've rebound my reload from C to V, so I don't fat finger it occasionally. And by rebinding the double onto a key, it can allow you to firstly prepare it with more relaxed attitude, but also what I can do, and you might see later on in the game, is what you can do is you can actually release and react by pressing your left mouse button, and you'll be able to react quicker than you otherwise could do. So when I'm playing this tank, I'm always driving around thinking about preparing the double shot, because that's what the vehicle is about. You've got to be careful about going here, because you can get shot from above, so always try and hug the right. But I want to see if I can try and get a cheeky shot into the 7032. Let's see if we can get him. Here we go. I'm just going to go for a single. See how I released it and I quickly fired a single shot? With the way that if you leave the double shot on your mouse button, it can actually prevent you from firing the double shot quickly, or the single shot quickly, I should say. So be very careful, boys and girls. Dang, that M4Y actually ricocheting me there. So this is always a tricky decision with this vehicle. As it's an auto reloader, should I fire a single shot or not? Another thing to mention about this vehicle, I'm going to go for a double. Ah, one of them didn't hit him. Did it hit the wall? I guess you'll let me know in the comments down below. Another tip is that you can see which barrel you're about to fire out of with the ring, and that's very important to realize, because if you're shooting out of the left barrel, you actually want, and you're trying to penetrate a double, what you actually have to do is you have to aim slightly left of where you want to hit, because you also have to take into account where the other shell is going to go. So that's very important. Okay, this guy's firing heat. That's awkward. Oh no, he's not actually firing heat. It just sounded like he was firing heat. How bizarre. I guess he clapped my lower plate there. Nice shot, dude. I'm going to try and bounce him off here. Oh, nice. God, this thing claps really hard. If he comes back around the corner thinking he has the rate of fire, I will fire. But I don't like to interrupt my reload on this tank, because then it makes you less flexible, right? For doing stuff like... Oh no, I think I flinched it to the right. Feels bad. And then not only did I flinch it to the right, because I thought he was going to go forwards. Oh, I had the awkward situation of the shell also going right as well. Oh, feels bad, man. Maybe I can get this guy. I'm going to take... Calm down, Scrub Lord. Calm down. Just do your thing. Make your plays. Take your shots. 1 damage? Are you actually kidding me? I invested all of that for 1 damage? Oh well. So I'm going to switch the kind of ammunition I'm using now to heat. Not that I need to now. I should be really firing my AP rounds at the side of this Progetto. But I'm going to wait. And I'm going to give this guy a surprise that he won't forget for a while. In this kind of a situation, I'm not actually going to fire a double because he's an autoloader. And firing a double in that kind of situation is actually a bad idea because he could all-in me. So my plan changed, and then this is where we double. Or not, because he's too far back and we don't have time to prepare the shot. This is where this vehicle is just one of the best heavy tanks, if not the best heavy tank at tier 8. It's just so flexible with what you can do and how you can adapt to the situation. Most heavy tanks couldn't have maybe decided to, for example, hold on, let me think here for a second, couldn't have decided to adapt to the situation. And it's so important to adapt to a situation in World of Tanks. Oh! I'm going to fire. I know it's not DPM efficient, but I want to switch out to my AP rounds because I feel like I'm just wasting my gold right now. I don't want to waste my gold rounds. I might need them later on the battle against some heavies, although this game is starting to end rather quickly. So I haven't even doubled anything yet. What is wrong with me? How can I even release this video unless I double something? Okay, I have to double something. I have to double something. I have to double something, all right? I have to double something, boys and girls. Oh, my lord. Oh, what the blazes. Dudes, I just realized that oh, good, my mouse spines are still good. I could die to this Borask now. Nice play by the Progetto there to land all your gold into me. You got me good. Oh, this is actually going real bad. That was the worst thing I've done today. I got a little bit confused with my loader dies because I actually have the repair on my mouse button. And so because I have the repair on my mouse button, that actually made it so that I had a bit of a delay with my brain. Where's that Borask going? He's going to try and rush me now. What I need to do is I need to turn as quick as I can, and I got to save for a double, unless he hits my lower plate with gold. I got to bounce him. Got fire! Oh, I couldn't. I clicked my mouse, dude. I'm going to blame the mouse for that. Okay. That was ugly. I should have played that better. I shouldn't have lost my health to the Progetto. Of course, the Borask is firing gold, so he can easily go through my lower plate, which I otherwise couldn't do. Have I done enough here to be able to win this game? I guess we're going to find out. That was poor play by me. I didn't manage to get a double in the whole time. Well played to the Borask and the Progetto. Managed to get some real good rounds into me. Yeah, GG. I hope I didn't just throw this game. I maybe just did. Look at this. The Progetto that I missed is now starting to farm other players. I feel so bad, man. No. Okay, I can't watch this. One of my biggest tips is to not watch where you failed and you've pretty much lost a game because you played like an idiot. So don't watch those ones. So, yeah, big fails by me there. I didn't play the 703-2 very well, but we still did 2,800 damage. Could have definitely done a lot more there. I think it's still an incredible tank, irrelevant of me playing like a potato in that game, though. Okay, so we've played 3 heavies. Why don't we play a tank destroyer now? And in my opinion, the best tank destroyer in the game has to be the TS5. I wonder what its win ratio is. Yeah, it's on top. Still 52.31, nearly 1% better than even the next best, the Turtle, at least with regards to win ratio. The TS5 is one of those vehicles that just consistently keeps smashing out big games for me. Although I will say that sometimes you can have the most weird looking games in it. So with that caveat in mind, let's play it. So I'm going to be using a turbo, a gun rammer, and I'm going to be using the enhanced durability device. This will allow us to keep plowing forwards. Our tracks are ridiculously healthy right now. Oh, this matchup's bad for this tank. This could be really ugly, YouTube, but I'm going to go for it anyway. So with the tracks on this tank now, I have pretty much about 100% extra track health, which makes me almost unstoppable. Okay, we're going to try and get the team together. Hey, team. Okay, let's try to be motivational. Hey, team. I'm going to push the town aggressively. Maybe you want to join me for a push? Okay, let's try. Let's see if they want to play. Maybe the IS-7 wants to come with me. Who knows? Oh, the Jaegeru. Come on. Let's go, friends. Let's go. Let's rush together. Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. Look, the IS-7 has said where he's going as well. Beautiful. Beautiful. Leopard says die. Okay, thank you, Leopard. We'll see whether that happens or not. Okay, so with the TS5 with the turbo, I should have enough speed to be able to get into position, but I've still got I got such a bad spawn, so it could still be quite awkward for me. So the TS5 is one of those vehicles that I play with a I don't care kind of attitude. That's how I play this tank. I play this tank like an absolute raging berserker. I have the DPM to be the berserker when I get into position, and I will definitely still support this IS-7 as quickly as I can. I love the way this IS-7 is playing. Clearly they're a very good player to have taken that scenario so aggressively. I love what their IS-7 is doing. I'm going to tell this Jaegeru that I'm going to try and push through, and oh nice, my team actually helped me win the 703, well they won the 703 game for me. I played really badly there. Come on, Skoda. This is where we just got to fire on the move. Get a little bit of spotting. Alright, well he's dead. Welcome to TS5, boys and girls. Nice shot, 703. I'll shoot you on the move as well. Take it, son. Okay, good. Come on! Come on! Push, boys! I'll help you, IS-7. I can't just drive across here. Until... Oh, this is dangerous. So you've got to watch out from the side here. If I can get this IS-7 to bounce, I will cross. But you've got to watch out from the side as well. Looks like my IS-7 is doing a real good job. Here comes the team. Look, my boys, they're coming. My boys, they're coming. All right, I'm going to go help him now. Look at this. They're actually pushing. What beautiful lads. Oh, this is a huge push. Oh, I love this team. I love this team. Yeah. We got you, IS-7. We got you. Come on. It's my tier 9 tank destroyer DPM. I need to take the outside a little bit so I can swing in accurately as I come around the corner. Oh, this is what you want to see in World of Tanks, ladies and gents. This is what you want to see in World of Tanks. Look at this. Coordinated aggression. Team play QuickyBaby. Bottom tier TD in this kind of scenario.
Penetration.
Who cares? The Leopard says die on our team, right? Well, we're making the enemy team die right now, that's for sure. Oh, I'm sorry, T10, I didn't mean to block you there. Nice.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Good. Great! Alright, so this is the part of the game where you can't stop rolling forwards. This could be really ugly. We could get clapped by any of the TDs, but you just gotta keep rolling. You just gotta keep rolling, boys and girls, you know? As Limp Bizkit once said. Yes, totally. Did I just quote Limp Bizkit? God, they were like popular when I was about 10 years old. Oh my god, am I dating myself right now? Or aging myself? I guess that's kind of the same thing in different ways though. I'm not sure you're meant to date yourself. As in, romantically. Let's not go there anyway. You can do whatever you want. I mean, who am I to judge? Alright, you know what? Considering this video is going to be like super long otherwise, we're just going to ship it. Alright, we're going to salute. We're going to hold down our W key. In fact, we're just going to hold our R key. For the team! Fascinating, says the Leopard, called Surgeon of Death. I'm going to switch to an HE round, and I'm going to hopefully get clapping. Oh, look at that. I'm actually spotting the griller. Oh, get tracked, son. Get tracked, son. Look at this DPM. Beautiful. I'm spotting El Borsigo. What's up with the reticle going so high? The game's freaking out. Why is it doing the reticle up there? Is it because the HE shell? Do you see that? It must be aiming in the distance or something. How bizarre. Anyway, TS5. I have to admit, I'm going to call out some people on my last YouTube video. Well, not my last one, but I'm going to call out the people for my tier review who said, "Oh, QB, you have no idea how to play tank destroyers. There's no way the TS5 can be that high up on the list. You get good, scrub lords." Okay, I'm sorry. What are you doing? Are you camping at the back? Stop camping, honestly. This vehicle, there's only one thing that you have to do. Go and rush the heavy tanks and play like a support. Well played, friends. Well played, friends. Basically, with the TS5, set the vehicle up like I showed you. Get a turbo, get the enhanced durability so you can't really be tracked, and then just go get up in the faces of your opponents. And also try and work with your friends. One of my biggest tips as a tier 8 tank in a tier 10 game, if you can summon up it doesn't work every time, but if you can summon up that social desire, right? Try and work with your friends. And look at this. I mean, I obviously had a good player there, 52% win rate player. Fear and Surprise was a pleasure to play with you today. But we were the support that the tier 10 needed to be confident, right? Do you think that the tier 10 IS7 really would have rushed in there if he didn't think that at least one or two of his team wanted to support him? You can make players in their top tier tanks confident even in your bottom tier tanks by just wanting to work with them. Alright, so far so good. I mean, are we packing 4 wins out of 4 and we're averaging 3,500 combined with 1,500 experience? Okay, let's keep going. This is actually going too well. So now we're going to be playing in the EBR 75. Oh man, this is going to be really hard with this new mouse because I always use the speed mode change with a side mouse button. So I have like forwards and backwards for my browser, and then I have a button for switching the speed modes, and it's going to be in a slightly different position. So I'd like to add the caveat, so I might drive like a complete donkey. Okay, where is the EBR's win ratio? Wow, it's on top by like 2%. I think we're seeing a bit of a pattern here. So the EBR, one of those vehicles which is just outrageous, especially on my main account, because this thing scales really, really, really well with equipment, and it scales really well with crew skill as well. One of my favorite things that I've done recently on this tank, yeah, I know how many times I'm going to talk about it. I have intuition on this vehicle from my commander, who is very skilled, as you can see, has pretty much everything. This is Santa Claus. How many skills has he got? Is that 9? No, it's 8. 8 skills. He's nearly onto his 9th skill. One of my favorite things about the intuition on this vehicle is it allows you to be more tactical with the ammunition that you use. The EBR is one of those vehicles that have each of its different ammo for a different purpose. APCR, usually for spamming at things on the move or alternatively shooting at spaced armor. The heat rounds are there for when you need to go through the thicker armor on the enemy team or the flat surfaces at decent distances, and the high explosive rounds are for when you absolutely want to troll the enemy vehicles. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today in the EBR 75. This vehicle is on top of the win ratio at tier 8 purely because it didn't get nerfed like all of the other wheeled vehicles did. And in fact, Wargaming compensated for the extra the loss of speed that the vehicle received when they changed the mechanics by, I think, upping the mobility as well. But I'm not 100% sure about that. Let me know in the comments down below if you need the exact ideas of that. Oh, yes. Mouse is working flawlessly with that already. That's good. Yeah, just to say, switching your speed mode change to your mouse is one of the best things you can do on this tank because it allows you to then have full control with WASD, and you don't need to worry about that while you're also speed switching. Okay, so what's the first thing that I'm going to do in the EBR 75? Well, I'm going to let my magazine fully reload, and then I'm going to switch it to HE because I have a funny feeling I get to shoot at the Bulldog first. You should always be thinking about what the first tank you're going to get to shoot is. And I know that you're not meant to passive spot in an EBR, but I'm going to anyway. I'm going to just sit here and I'm going to wait. And you can see that with the correct equipment and with all of the field mods and everything, we've actually managed to get our view range up to a very decent amount. Now, I realize I am passive scouting in a tank, and you're not really meant to passive scout in a wheeled vehicle. But what I'm doing is basically just getting an idea of what the enemy team are doing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a little bit of a peek up here. I'm going to see if I get spotted, because it will give me information of where the Bulldog is. Okay, I didn't get spotted. That means the Bulldog is not in these bushes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove on just a little bit more. Maybe their bulldog is sniping, but I've got to be careful still. I'm going to go and have a little bit of a better look around here. Okay, I got fired at, meaning I'm spotted. Luckily, we can hopefully use our evasive maneuvers while still spotting out whoever's over there to try and get some vision. Oh my god, I drive like a donkey, but luckily the mouse is still working out okay for me. Oh, I lost a lot of health there. That's not good. Okay, I'm a little bit stressed when I play this tank on YouTube. I'm not going to lie, because it's a tank that is quite high intensity. And unlike the other vehicles where I can kind of still play them even when I'm commentating, and with this new mouse it feels a little bit weird. This is the kind of vehicle that is quite complicated to play with that regard. It's quite tricky to be able to commentate and also play, because honestly when I'm playing in EBR my mind is kind of working overtime. Okay, I need heat rounds here for the S1. Why'd you need heat rounds for the S1? Well, because I got a 75mm gun, don't I? Yeah. And so he's going to be able to ricochet all of those shells. Okay, this is bizarre. The enemy team are actually managing to push through the other flank. Oh no, this isn't looking good. I'm going to ping like alarm bells over there, and hopefully this will be the time when I can be a scout finally. I'm going to tell the Scorpion to help me, and he's actually going to listen. Okay, I need to get a bit closer to these tanks to see if I can spot them as they're crossing, and here we go. Now we're talking. Come on, I'm spotting for all of you guys. Time to make your shots work, please. There we go. Oh gosh. That's not good. Our Scorpion's dead, but more importantly, what's going to happen now is the CS-52 Lease is actually going to cross over. Okay, so we're doing a little bit of spotting. What you need to do is use your rings on your minimap to see exactly how close your opponents are. And my rule of thumb is, when I'm playing a vehicle like this, is that I want to try and keep them about halfway, because I've got about 40% camo, and so that will allow me to be able to outspot them with the build that I have. Here we can see I'm actually catching the Skoda. I'm going to go and have a quick look at the T-34, try and keep them honest in the middle of the map. I actually got spotted there. That wasn't very good. Evasive maneuvers. Oi, oi, oi! Should be okay. I'm driving backwards this whole time. It's a little bit off-putting. Did any of you actually realize I was driving backwards that whole time? Bit of a weird one, right? CS-52 Lease kind of caught out there. I need to just keep lighting up the enemy team as much as I can. As much as I can, he says. I don't want to get too close to that FE422 and that CS-52 Lease, as they seem to be fairly good with the old view range. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Driving backwards again. When am I ever not going to drive backwards in this vehicle? It's such a weird tank. Fast as it is, backwards as it is, forwards. I'm happy with my plays right now. I'm kind of just keeping the enemy lit up in good positions. I've got to be careful that this T-34 doesn't get me. I'm going to calling in the squad there to see if they can manage to get him. Come on, boys and girls, try and get some shots in for me. And this is really where the EBR is just crazy, because it has the damage threat, even though I haven't even fired a shot this game as far as I can tell. But it can also just be a proficient scout. And I honestly think that players have had the EBR for long enough to start doing some absolutely wild, crazy things in this tank as well. All right, well, talk about wild, crazy things. I think it's about time that we started to actually maybe play a little bit more, right? Maybe I can try and get the Scorpion. This game's starting to look like a possible victory, he says. Oh, there's the Skoda. I'm actually going to try and get him with some heat rounds, probably. Oh, he goes behind a rock. This game's actually still really close. Just to let you know, that Skoda... Oh. Yeah. Luckily, while my Santa Claus might have intuition, looks like my intuition is still a little bit wrong right now. All right, I'm going to try and get into a position to finally start clapping. Wow, I'm so unlucky. Can you believe I waited that whole time to get my first shot in, and the first one misses? But this Scorpion's just still getting absolutely wrecked. I think I might try and finish him off, and then I can get behind the T-34. He's down to a one-shot for me, and the beautiful thing about having a two-shot little auto-loader is that if you miss the first shot, you can make sure you aim the second one better. You don't usually get unlucky twice. See? There's no threat, so you can take the chance. You can take the chance, you know? You can take the chance. I gotta ask myself, do I think that I can penetrate HE shells on the back of the T-34? This is greedy. Super greedy. I mean, I could do it, but it looks like it's a low probability play, so I think that's bad. should have just fired AP there. I would have actually done more damage with 2 AP shells. Alright, so there go the rest of my hit points. I don't have any now to make plays against the remaining tank destroyers, but that could be okay. I'm going to load HE here because I think I'm going to shoot the SG-130PM. How good is intuition on this tank? Honestly, I've been playing this vehicle so much better recently with the intuition changes. I don't have to worry about the shells. I can be more flexible. I can go in and be like, pow, pow. Oh, that wasn't good. It's okay though because we got moves. We can drive in between them. I should have definitely not tried to fire that HE shell at that player by the looks of it. Engine Panzer misses me. I'm going to load some heat here. Oh no, he's up in the corner. Good shot, sir. You got me. Good S1. But just like that, wham, bam. Thank you, man. We end up with 4,400 combined. That is going to be some fat credits. Okay. Well, we're going to find out if any of you like these kind of videos or not. This video, in my opinion, is getting long, but we're winning, and I really hope you're all having fun. All right, so please let me know in the comments down below if you'd rather that I tried to keep the structure shorter and more focused, and whether you want to just keep like a train like this going or not with all of these wins and all of these rock and roll games. And let's be honest, while I have just played all of the pay-to-win tanks from my list, I also didn't even talk about the Borask, which I put in the pay-to-win for experienced payers or players, ha ha ha, or competitive for casual players. So of course, I think I'm going to play on, and hopefully this won't be a 15-minute game. So the Borask has the highest win ratio along with the Astron Rex, although I think the Borask is much better than the Astron Rex for probably the majority of players, and especially for the players who have incredible crew skills. So not too bad there for the EBR 75. We managed to finish third on experience, and we got 5,000 combined, and I make myself 166,000 credits profit. Not too shabby. So, all right, let's see if we can continue this win streak. Look at those statistics. 100% win ratio. We're averaging 3,800 combined here in these tier 8 tanks and 1,500 experience. I'm going to keep this going. I'm not going to stop. Let's see if I can double down with the Borask. Okay, so let's talk about the Borask. The Borask is a 2-punch. It's like a left-right. It's like, or like a 2 jabs. But to be fair, I would say the 360 alpha damage that this vehicle has is definitely more than a jab. It's pretty brutal within that regard. Wow, do I get to defend again? Oh man, I'm sitting here wondering if I should use my commander's vision system, because this is a fairly bushy map, but I don't think it's quite bushy enough. I think I'm still going to go with the vertical stabilizers, because that will allow me to deliver my shots more accurately. So the Borask, it can deliver 720 damage in 2 seconds. I honestly think, like, do you think there's a coincidence here that there's so many good vehicles that have 2-round autoloaders, or they're auto reloaders, or in the form of the 703-2, they're both, right? I honestly think that 2-round magazines are the sweet spot. And do you know why 2-round magazines are the sweet spot, especially with good intraclip reloads like the EBR and the Borask? They are the sweet spot because quite often your opponents take 2 seconds or more to be able to react. So a tank like this delivers 2 shots and doesn't get punished. Whereas a vehicle like the Astron Rex, it takes 4 seconds to deliver much less alpha damage. And so that means that the Astron Rex quite often takes damage to be able to use that magazine. I guess why the Astron Rex is quite successful is because it has really good armor apart from the weak point on top to still be able to deliver it over the longer periods of time. I think that honestly 2-round magazines are the sweet spot, especially with glass cannon tanks like the Borask and with the EBR. So I'm going to get ready here and see if I can be able to land a shell on my opponents. I will 100% spot anything that goes up there. I have more than enough view range, and I'm hoping that I can manage to deliver the shot. Okay, the Panther's asking for help, but help at what? You want to just push up there and risk that there's a Batchat or a Patriot or something? Okay, the Batchat spotted on the other flank, so okay, I'm pushing. The only tank that actually scares me up here now is the AE Phase 1. So I'm going to tell the Panther that I'll help him. But I'm a little bit concerned about this. I'm not going to stop at the Tiger because it's death. Honestly, it's death. I kind of don't like this right now. Okay. Engine Panzer. Need to clap him twice. There's one. There's... Oh, that's a disaster. I can't kill him in 2 shots now. Engine Panzer is one of those tanks that actually has a lot better armor than a lot of people give it credit for. I just played that during my Tech Tree Showcase on Sunday, and during the Tech Tree Showcase I had one of my best games in the Engine Panzer, I think. It was a pretty cool round. Why is this Panther trying to go for him and not for the arty? If we low roll, we have another. Talk about low roll, by the way. Did I really leave that artillery on a single hit point? That's pretty disgusting. Is that the second time in this video that I have killed a vehicle that had 1 hit point? Ugh, man, this is where the Borask is just so good. It has enough DPM. I'm not really worried about the engine pans. I'm just going to clap this Tiger. Look at that bloom. That's why vertical stabilizers on this vehicle is awesome. And I personally prefer the vertical stabilizers to the accuracy module. Although I know there are a lot of people who like the accuracy module on the Borask. But personally, for me, I prefer the vertical stabilizers. I'm going to have a little bit of a spot on this Tiger once again. And then I'm going to pull back. And then I'm hopefully going to deliver 2 shots. You actually avoided that shell, Mr. Tiger. Aim time definitely not good. Gun handling not so good either, but we're okay. And yeah, it just looks like it's my day, boys and girls. It looks like I just have the utter farm. Man, can you believe that I'm not streaming today? Maybe I play better on YouTube than I do on Twitch. It's going well today though. But we have had our sessions on YouTube, you know, where we haven't really been able to land anything as well. So it's tricky. All right, this engine pan's still a healthy boy. I don't have intuition on this tank. Oh, did he proxy spot me? No, he didn't, thank goodness. If he proxy spotted me there, I'd be in a lot of trouble. Okay, this game's actually really close. I can't relax. I can't relax yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and take the side, see if I can spot this challenger who clearly is sitting in those bushes. Okay, I'm going to try and hug the left so the Indian Panzer doesn't see me for as long as possible. Now he's going to spot me, so I'm going to fire a shell at him. Another shell. Now I can hopefully reload, although I took some damage from him. And now I'll get to reload and be able to get him in 2 shots. If I'd had him lower health from earlier, I would have most likely aimed those shots completely. But considering that I didn't have him low on health from earlier, there was no point in aiming both of those shots. Oh, he's running. He spotted me there as well. That's really awkward. Artillery could shoot me here. Is this Indian Panzer really going to come and fight me? I gotta kill him before his challenger friend gets me here. 1. Oh, no. Disastrous bounce. That could be game losing. Oh, never mind. Thank you, WZ. I'm gonna go closer to him so I can say thank you. Oh, I can't say thank you to him. Okay. Okay, we've actually got a game on our hands now, right? We've got a game on our hands. So I lost some health there to get rid of the Indian Panzer. That Indian Panzer got fairly lucky, I would argue. But, you know, it happens. It happens when you're playing in the Borask. That E75 is still spotted, but I can't pen him hardly at all. I'd have to get clean shots right against his backside to be able to get him. Hello, GW. Tiger, you're trying to run away, are you? Trying to run away? Guess you will run away successfully. I guess that's okay. I gotta be careful if I get spotted here and the challenger makes a 5-head move and comes up against me, that I'll get caught out. I think I'll just... Oh, I'm on fire. Well played. Well played. You know what? I give a round of applause. Well done, Mr. Challenger. You did make a 5-head move. You got me. You set me on fire. Beautiful shot. Well played, Challenger. Really good job, sir. Luckily for me, it looks like the 2,800 damage that we did and the 500 spotting should be enough, and it's very unlikely that the enemy team are going to be able to take down the rest of this one. And unfortunately, this game is actually getting incredibly close now, as the E75, as you would expect being a top-tier heavy tank, is really crushing their way through our team. So it's all down to the Leo on our team, if they're going to be able to stop the cap, and whether the 2 artillery are going to be able to as well. We've also got a T-34-2 GFT in this position. The E-75 gets a kill on our RT, and now we're going to find out whether the E-75 and the Challenger is going to be able to cap out. Oh my lord, ladies and gents, boys and girls, this is pretty tense now, as whether we're going to find out whether we get 5 wins and a loss, or whether we get 6 wins today. My money is on the fact that the E-75 is going to start capping, or the Challenger. Oh wow, the Challenger isn't even in a capping position. This Leo doesn't look like they're exactly playing particularly well. Awful play by the Challenger now to not be being aggressive against the Leo. What's his plan? To try and get the E75? They're going to have to find the final TD, because unless the next... They have to get 2 people in the cap circle in the next 30 seconds, otherwise they both aren't going to be able to cap. And then we just got to hope that basically our T-34 2G, who's in the corner, doesn't look like they're even playing the game, is going to not hide from them. Such a weird scenario. This Leo just chilling up here. It does look as if I've got almost 2 bots on my team, although I don't think that's very fair. Okay, so the E75 just started capping by the looks of it. So now it's whether the Challenger can get in the cap circle quickly. He's not. He's fighting the Leo. What is happening? Looks like the Challenger is outplaying the Leo, but he's not going to be able to get into the cap circle. No, Ollie, just hide. Just hide. T-34 2G. Just hide. You win if you hide. You win if you hide. Just hide. Just hide. Just hide. Just hide. Oh my God. Well played to the Challenger, right? I almost feel like I wish I hadn't given you... Oh my God. 12 seconds? As long as he doesn't go up on the ridge line, we'll be okay. Oh, it's a bot. It's a bot. Oh, he bounced. He bounced. Oh. You couldn't script it. Well, you know what? GG to you, Mr. Challenger. You played really well to get the kill on me. I guess I was overconfident, but you could also argue the fire was a little unlucky. You take your chances when you're trying to min-max and trying to use premium consumables, right? My word. Ladies and gents, thank goodness the T-34-2, who I don't think they were the best of players, bounced that shell. Commiserations to the E75 on the enemy team. A great player, playing a very good tank in a very good matchup. And yeah, well played to the Challenger as well. Great player, playing a good tank, but not a good matchup for him. Nevertheless, we still managed to finish second on experience, and we finished second on damage. Well, I guess it was my lucky day from that regard. That ricochet at the end was absolutely ridiculous. So, 6 games in my opinion, the best premium tanks available currently inside the game. Now remember, it's just my list, and vehicles that work for me might not work for you, although as we can see with the win ratios, I think there's a reason why they are winning the majority of their games as well. 1,500 average experience, 3,750 combined, and we made 1.1 million credits, of which 1 million credits was pure profit in our short play session today. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that's it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this video, and also please do let me know, both with the likes and the dislikes, and also in the comments down below, whether if you feel that these longer format videos are a waste of your time, or whether you enjoy them and you want to see more of them. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.